On the other hand, I like the Zyra pick bot. It's not quite as common, but she serves a very similar functionality to Morgana. They have a very similar snare. The difference being, of course, that Zyra's plants start doing a lot of damage.
Yep.
But, you know, that's kind of works in the same functionality that the puddle does. If you stick near the puddle, it's going to do a lot of damage.
Yep.
So they have very similar roles. It's just that Zyra gets slightly better immediate teamfight strength and scouting potential with buds and her ult, versus Morgana's Black Shield and a little bit differently tuned AoE stun ultimate.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, of course, the binding only lands on one person, while Zyra's goes through and can latch onto multiple people.
All right, guys, we're loading into the Rift here. Currently, we're watching Shandor's minions versus Dr. Mundo and the Broskies. Dr. Mundo and the Broskies playing on the blue side, and Shandor's minions up top with the purple side teams.
And they have really, I mean, all these teams at this point, we're getting deeper and deeper into the winners bracket. They have fought hard to be where they are.
Yes, there's definitely no contest. There's no one contesting that they don't deserve to be where they are. Admittedly, there was really, really strong teams on the other side of the bracket, but that doesn't in any way say that the teams on the other side of the bracket weren't as equally as powerful.
Yeah, and there's so many strong teams here today, and so many killers already put into the losers bracket. That is just a vicious place to be.
Coming in here, I was expecting Lovely Princesses and Super Hot Crew to do, like, just basically sweep the tournament. Yeah. But it's almost going to be even better to watch them duke it out in losers finals. Because
that's for sure.
It's just more, there's more spirit in it.
More on the line.
There's more heart.
And it looks like
we have an early pause.
Yeah. This looks like we have blue side playing a safe opener. They're just going to be scouting out all the entrances to their base. And then purple side is going for a blue side invade. A blue buff invade. They're just stacking up on that tri-brush at the top side of the map.
Oh, okay. I'm going to unpause here real quick. You know, I didn't realize that LCS hid their pauses.
Oh, yeah.
Because they only display like 2 minutes, so like a 17-minute pause.
Yeah.
Because they're so far ahead that they can like condense it.
Yeah.
I was like pretty amazed watching them do that.
Yeah, it really keeps the show rolling, huh?
Yeah, it does. And we got some recalls. I'm gonna reposition ourselves. Ooh, gonna catch Warwick extended.
That's awkward.
He's gonna blow the flash.
He's gonna flash.
I don't know if that was necessary.
Yeah, me either. But
does Pantheon have leap? Because he didn't use it.
No, he got spear.
Right.
He got spear, so he didn't have the stun.
I guess he's gonna need the spear for jungling.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing with jungling Elise.
Yeah, you
kind of want that
Q,
but you need that
Q, NW.
Yeah. So flash down for Warwick. That's definitely worth it.
Yep.
I mean,
they didn't spend anything.
Yeah.
They didn't lose positioning either.
Yep. So this game is going to get underway. Now, Zed versus Gragas, like we said a lot. This matchup is pretty even. In the bot lane, we have Kate Morgana versus Jinx Zyra.
The one important note that I want to have is that Jinx Zyra has no disengage.
Yep.
If they get caught, their only option is to all in.
Yep.
There's no let me net away or black shield and try to run.
Yeah.
It's really just, hey, let's kill them.
Yeah.
You could preemptively, you could set out like flame chompers and try to use them to zone out. But in a situation like this where Jinx is exposed, and a lot of damage is going to come out as Caitlyn's last auto attack.
He might
the barrier.
No, he won't do it.
They do get the barrier though.
Yeah.
After spending no summoners, just for a dark binding.
Yeah. And that is really the strength of hitting level 2 first. And Jinx tried to go for the creeps in the back line, tried to kill one last creep to get that level 2, instead paid the price and has to use barrier for it.
And Shyvana is going to have a party here in the top lane, really farming through Warwick. She's probably going to secure the earliest tower we've ever seen. But we'll see.
This is a rocky start for the Jinx Zyra bot lane, but again, they're just going to build up so much damage later on that I don't think it really matters that they're
Here comes Pantheon.
And a nice body slam to get away. Stun was not quite in range to follow up with a spear.
Yep.
Gragas continuing to show why he's such a strong mid laner. Zed is shoving the lane into Gragas though, and so he's going to have a little bit of a hard time.
Well, Vi is heading top to catch the shoved Shyvana. It doesn't look like... Nope. getting back up. She got the ward out. Good warding.
Let's see what they do. Pantheon hovering around that mid lane. Zed is playing aggressively.
Oh, we actually have Vi. Oh, coming to ward. All right, very well.
I really like what the mid lane is, how the mid lane is playing for Zed. He's utilizing the positioning of Pantheon to decide whether he wants to shut out the lane, whether he feels safe pushing or letting the lane push towards him. And in this case, as Pantheon leaves, he allows the creep wave to push towards his tower, so he's safer farming. And that's a very important part of playing mid lane, is understanding where your jungle pressure is and when you're strong and when you're weak.
I'm becoming inspired with all this Morgana activity. I used to play Morgana a lot. But, you know, she fell out of favor for a really long time.
Yep, that's certainly true.
Maybe it's time to whip out the old wings.
Morgana again.
Uh-oh. Excellent Dark Binding. We're going to follow up with a puddle, and Ignite is going to seal the deal with that last auto attack.
That was a very nice flash all-in from the Caitlyn.
A very good Dark Binding. It seems to be the playmaker.
Yeah.
It's nice because it's like... It's all the power of Blitz Hook without the risk of that being the only thing in your kit.
Yeah.
You're like, I can do other things too.
Yeah. Blitz is really reliant upon landing that hook. All his other skills are kind of close range dual.
You know what a lot of people don't realize is that Dark Binding is what, like 2 seconds, like a pure,
really
like 2.5 seconds of just a raw snare. You can't move at all.
Can't use dash ability.
Nope.
It's really quite a strong ability. And coupled onto the fact that this Morgana seems to be hitting a ton of them.
You know what? I just learned at LCS, I didn't know this, that you can use summoners while suppressed.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could smite while suppressed.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
It's really one of the reasons why Gragas is so strong at contesting buffs, because he doesn't stun the jungler, he pushes them away, which brings them out of range of that smite.
Because, Pantheon,
And
Gragas isn't
body
quite
slam.
as exposed. Yeah, he's definitely
It's going
safe.
to be hard to get this gank down since Zed is pushing the lane.
You know, I would think that Pantheon would have been focusing more towards the no escape bot lane.
Yeah.
That would be where I foresaw him heading. It looks like he's really thirsting for Gragas' wine.
But on the other hand, the bot lane seems to be doing fine on their own.
Yes, they are.
Maybe he doesn't want to attract too much attention there because he doesn't want to draw Vi down there who might turn the tides of the fight.
You know, a lot of times in competitive play, you see Pantheon being the playmaker, you know, the classic early game playmaker, but it's only really post 6 that he becomes the true Pantheon, the man who can leap across lanes.
He ascends to a greater form.
Yeah, there we go.
Drops down on his opponents.
And it's really nice, too, because Heroic Leap is just big enough to cover the entirety of bot lane, so you can put it right next to the tower, and they can't back up.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm a scrub. I don't have a pro to do this for me.
So it looks like bot lane is continuing to shove into the lane, and Jinx is nowhere to be seen, so she's going to be losing quite a bit of CS here. In addition to the fact that they're against a Caitlyn in lane, this is not an easy lane to come out even in. Caitlyn Morgana is one of the strongest pokes that you can get. And basically, slowly becoming the new flavor of the month.
You know, Caitlyn's always been... A lot of people haven't considered her as strong as Jinx Sivir in terms of an ADC in bot lane. Post her, you know, really dominating strength in Season 3, she's always been solid, but she hasn't had the respect that she used to. She hasn't garnered the fear.
Yeah, that's for sure. It looks like Shyvana is trying to do some
Vi
proxying,
heading off, and also with Gragas coming as well.
Oh, wow.
And there's the ult.
He's gonna get away,
She's still got a bunch of health. Actually just going to fight Vi here. And then the Warwick ult is really... she's got her ult down, and also Mantheon.
Here comes Zed
to reinforce with the Zed. Excellent timing on that cooperative gank there. And Gragas should be able to zone them out.
They trade 1 for 1. And the kill goes on to the Pantheon. That's actually not too bad of a choice. Kills onto Pantheon early means that he does even more damage. And
you know, if he can finish the last Whisper, and he still does to be fair, he still does a respectable amount of damage in the mid to late game.
Yeah.
Because you're not removing anything from his kit. You know,
Right.
it's not like, oh, this tool is pretty much exclusively strong early game, like, like I guess Elisa's W, like the attack speed buff.
Right.
Because the health return doesn't really do anything late game. It's actually pretty strong early game.
Yeah.
But Pantheon, he's always gonna do massive damage, and he's always gonna have a stun.
Yeah.
So
he really is very relevant for a large part of the game. And it's good that he got the kill. I mean, Zed can do with a lot of the kills also. He's actually opted to go for a Brutalizer first. Normally you'll see Zeds try to go for the sustain, getting the Cutlass. But he really wants to
he's playing brave, yeah.
He really wants to get a lot of all-ins, get a lot of kills.
I'm interested. Ooh, we actually have the Chompers going out, trying to prevent them from running
Ults
away.
are out in the bot lane. There comes a Morgana ult.
There's a lot of damage going on Zyra, and this Caitlyn's superior range managed to chip off the last bit of Zyra's health as she gets right under the tower there. Dark Binding almost hits Jinx.
Wow, that would have been bad. Oh my god.
We have Vi coming in to reinforce, and there are no wards in that try for Purple Team.
Jinx still has her ult, so they still have kill potential in this bot lane.
Shandor's minions looking very strong. In the beginning 10 minutes of this game currently, they've got a 2K gold lead. No towers yet, but
There's
bot
no
lane,
ward.
there's a big CS lead for Caitlyn.
Does Vi have her ult up right now?
Oh, we've got pings for Dragon.
It's just barely
Vi
up.
coming
It's
in.
seconds away. And the
There's
flash
the
is going
flash.
to make him safe.
Would it have prevented Vi's ult from targeting?
I don't
Because
think so.
Banshee's Veil makes it like pop.
I think Vi would go there, but then he would get picked up.
Oh, okay.
But don't quote me on that. I'm actually not too sure.
I'm pretty
Here comes
sure-
the Gragas ult still.
Oh! A lot of damage.
Oh,
Does it?
Purple team still got it.
Mundo does not manage to steal it, and that's actually just so much damage. Super Mega Death Rocket changes the pace of the engagement, picking up the kill there on Pantheon, and now Jinx and
Here comes
Gragas
the
are
body
both
slam.
here to clean up.
Wow, that's
That's an easy kill on
Getting
Caitlyn.
excited.
Yep. I like the change that they're going to apply to that. Did you see that on the PvE, the potential change?
What's
It's
that?
on a target that was dealt damage by Jinx.
Ah, yes.
Instead of the actual kill.
Yes.
So now you can just like assist and get the speed
and
boost.
keep getting the speed boosts.
Yeah.
It's really, really good passive.
It adds to her sorely lacking escape kit. Not to say that she really needed much, but
right. I mean, she's still definitely a really strong idiot. Oh, here comes a man
here's
drop.
the Pantheon.
Oh, guess the Zyra.
So much damage, and with the black shield here, he's actually just going to be able to walk
He's gonna
through
spear.
every type of peel
Wow,
effect
and
they
this
might
is the
bring to
benefit
table.
of a Pantheon who's fed.
Yeah, he can just 2v1 them. Yes, Zyra is here. Yes, she did passive him, but who cares? Here
my
comes
God.
Zed to clean up what little is left of Jinx. The ult's going to pop. Easy kill.
A fun fact, when Zed ults a target, if you see the Shuriken above them, that means that the ult will deal the killing blow.
Oh, it's
So,
guaranteed.
yeah. So
Unless
you
they
can
like
know-
get a shield or something.
Yeah, so you can know at their current health level, if you back off and they don't get healed or shielded, they will die to the ultimate.
Oh, it's
So-
I did not know that.
Yeah. So it's actually a very good thing to know amongst Zed players.
A
that-
this trickiness, this deception.
Yeah.
secrets.
And we can already see the benefit of the Pantheon Zed combo.
That
It's already
was-
happened twice where they were able to pick up kills. Just
They
because-
jumped in at the Baron, outside of the Baron pit engagement.
Oh,
once
here comes the
again,
ult combination. There's a cask. Brings it back into the team fight. Vi in the back
it
line.
looks
Gonna
like
get stabbed
Gragas
by
is
Pantheon.
gonna fall there, and Shyvana actually slipping out with.
Oh!
The Super Mega Death Rocket once again picks up the execution. This time on Shyvana.
Oh my God, 2 for 2.
Two for two.
Let's keep tabs on
Yep,
how many
all right.
Jinxes.
Yasu bro.
Yasu bro coming in with the Super Mega Death Rockets, coming in big. And he might not be winning his own lane, but he's definitely picking up the kills.
The other lanes.
Dang.
It was almost a double, actually.
Yeah, it was
100,
really
like 120 health away on the last
It's
champion.
like, what? I'm playing Jinx? I thought I was playing Karthus. Very nicely done by
man.
the Jinx player. And they're going to continue. They're still having a hard time in this bot lane. I mean, I cannot stress how annoying it is to fight against Morgana Caitlyn. They're safe while they're poking you, and if any of their poke happens to land, you could lose half your health.
Follow it up into just, because I mean, oh man, the Peacemaker plus Puddle alone is already massive damage. You weave that in with a couple auto attacks.
Oh my god,
gonna
Morgana
be
is
a lot
coming down. There it is on Zyra.
But the Flame Chompers do manage to zone Caitlyn off, preventing a bunch of damage.
Wow.
Did Pantheon get interrupted?
I don't know.
I saw
think he canceled it.
I saw it come down.
Oh.
No, sorry.
Was that Zyra ult? That might have been Zyra.
It might have been Zyra ult. It looked too big. I don't know. He might have been too far away to ult, actually.
Yeah.
I just saw a humongous circle, and I assumed there was a Spartan falling from the sky.
The bad drop was coming,
Yeah.
but that won't be the case. And they don't get any kills from it, but they do push Zyra out of the lane, and Caitlyn's Jinx is a little bit low. So they will have a little bit of lane
So,
pressure there.
as we predicted, Shyvana just absolutely shoving top.
Yeah.
She's already got her tower. She's ahead by 50 CS. However, she has died twice as a result of this aggression. But, I mean, she's already finished her Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, and
So
she's going to be able to do really well against both Vi and Warwick. Warwick is a little poor at shoving lanes. So up against the Shyvana, Warwick is a little bit outclassed in that sense.
Right. But once this infinite sustain style really
rolling.
comes to fruition,
Yep.
I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about the Warwick pick. It's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
these early stages of the game where it can really be
He's already
lamented.
got that chalice built up on. Look at that damage, jeez. And he still hasn't popped his blade.
Yep.
Okay, he's gonna back away.
And we might actually
Oh,
see
here comes the gank.
Oh, okay. He did. He knew. That could have been a kill really quick.
Yeah, Gragas still at full health. It's hard to burst him down. He's a little bit tanky. Here comes an initiate.
The Black Shield absorbed so much damage there.
Yeah, it really did. Oh, and Warwick actually gets
traps her under the
Shyvana
tower.
could ult.
The Ignite goes up to really to discourage him from continuing. That Ignite did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I actually really think Shyvana could have all-in him with the Ignite on. He hadn't used Blade, he still had his ultimate. Maybe he was scared of Gragas coming in from the
because
side.
he's been reinforced all game. That's how she's died twice.
Yeah.
Is all this reinforcement that he's been getting. So she was pretty playing conservatively.
Yeah,
Worked
she
out
didn't
well
have
for her.
flash either, so I think all in all it was a good choice.
I will say I'm rather interested by how a sweeping lens is yet to be picked up by either team.
Yeah, you normally see at least one sleeping lens by this point.
I mean, we do see 3 pinks on the board.
Sure.
But, usually you see at least one sweeping lens from the support or the jungler.
And they're going to start needing those sweeping lenses to gain map control after, especially top lane is already a hole punched through it. Bottom lane likewise. If they pick up that sweeping lens, they can start making plays in the enemy team's jungle. And that's going to... Oh, and here comes an initiation. Black Shield onto Pantheon. He doesn't care. He's just going to jump in. Double flashes popped by Morgana. Really worth it.
They just took everything away from them there. Just at the price of a relatively low cooldown ult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like... It's not a 3-minute ult.
Yeah, that's for sure. And Morgana still has her flash available, so next team fight she can flash in.
Was it Silencer in Dota 1 with a 6-minute cooldown on his ult?
Yeah, Silencer. Silencer Enigma. Oh,
Here's the immediate ult on Zyra.
Goodbye,
She's dead. The ult didn't even have time to pop. The Super Mega Death Rocket does come in, but it barely does anything to the Black Shield.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it needs to get kind of that execute damage to really be very threatening.
It's all physical though, right?
Yeah, it's physical, and it does more damage the less health your opponent has. So he hit a lot of kind of 75% health-ish.
Okay, so it wasn't blocked by the Black Shield. There's just too many bodies.
Yeah,
too many bodies.
Oh wow! And
Gragas trying to discourage them from taking the tower, but there's just too many bodies throwing themselves at that mid tower.
I mean, they do a lot of damage. They have a Shyvana, they have a Caitlyn to push down towers. So they have very good tower control right now.
They have a lot of raw damage output. Be it from Zed or from Shyvana or Caitlyn or Pantheon. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that every champion on their team is pretty much damage oriented.
Yeah, and it's different sources of damage, right? We look at the Shyvana for that sustained damage and staying in the face of the enemy team. We have sustained pinging damage for Caitlyn in the back, and then we have big burst damage from things like Pantheon and Zed. And, so
then Morgana, people might criticize me for the way that I phrased this, but Morgana, the Black Shield, in a way, does more damage than anything else. because you're preventing your ADC from being CC'd. And if you prevent Zed from being knocked up or suppressed, right? That's the damage value of having a magic immune carry is so much higher than any other skill in the game.
If you can't CC him, he gets maximum uptime on his target.
Yep.
That might be the difference between him getting in that auto attack. When
See, shielding him and then having him jump in, like pre-shielded, it's going to save him versus like Gragas's burst.
Yeah, yeah, and that cask won't push him away. You know, he can continue to all in with his ultimate and then get away when after he's done his damage.
And it's doubly annoying against something like Pantheon, where he's also got the auto attack block up.
Right.
So he can not only eat some magic damage, but also some physical damage as well.
Yeah.
To the point where it becomes almost impossible to like chip him away.
Ends up becoming very, very tanky.
Looks like Shyvana is just gonna all in on this tower here.
Wow.
Twin Bite should easily.
Wow, and Zyra's
Not even
doesn't
twin
care.
biting,
She's
yeah.
gonna take that tower. And that was a very questionable choice on that Shyvana, on that Zyra ult. Shyvana ends up continuing to shove that top lane. And
She's gonna resustain herself from Blade of the Ruined King.
yeah. Really?
I'm interested that people are picking up Warden's Mail so early. It's been happening in a lot of the games. Usually you see like the immediate Giant spell buy, and then you never even see Warden's Mail get bought. It's always finished with Randuin's.
Oh my god.
Shyvana
Doesn't even need
taking
that
that gold and using it.
And, I mean, they were able to answer with a
Oh,
mid
here
turret.
comes Warwick, and she's completely blocked off. Although, you know, even if she dies here, she's accomplished her objective. Look how far she's punched through the top lane by herself. And every time they've had to send 3 people to go fight her, they've lost map presence everywhere else.
They lose a lot of map pressure. And, I mean, you can see the effects of that. 2 towers down in the top lane, all the outer turrets down in all the other lanes. And so far, the only answer to that has been the mid tower.
I'm amused by Forward Twisted. He kind of plays like I do. You have a very zealous, objective identity. You're like, all right, I'm going to die, but it's all going to work. And my KDR is worthless. I will die 20 times on my Thresh, but we will win the game.
Yeah, the Shyvana is actually 2-3-2, but 80-some CS above Warwick.
Yeah, I mean, she's far compensated, because especially if you consider that the kills that she's picked up, she may have given out a bit more gold than Warwick, with Warwick not having died once, but she's been at work.
Yeah.
You're seeing results being produced, and that's really what she has to do against a lane mate like Warwick, where she has to win as much as she can before he becomes the true wolf.
Exactly. And that's really, I mean, the thing about Shyvana is she doesn't get any weaker late game, so this is only going to become... Here comes the man drop. Canceled. Morgana's going to get that ult down onto Gragas.
On Dr. Mundo.
Oh, and that is a nice combo from that Zyra.
Excellent Super Mega Death Rocket, pretty much cleaning up Caitlyn there, and also dropping Morgana super low. Zyra going to finish the kill on Morgana there, but she flashes out.
Oh my god, Zed misses his W for a shadow, and now he's going to ult onto Warwick. He needs to get
just
that
kind
auto
of running circle of flashes over the wall.
Wow.
And Gragas desperately trying to survive against Pantheon.
This was a really messy team fight from both sides.
And here comes the man drop.
Oh my god.
It's going to hit right as Zhonya's comes out. Yep. I knew the timing. I was like, that's going to hit.
Oh my
And
goodness.
Zed looks like he might going to pick up the kill on Warwick here. Warwick almost kited him out. Quite a bit of sustain coming.
He had to use his flash to get that kill, but unfortunately, I really feel like Zed couldn't connect at the times that he needed to, meaning that his ultimate had to be spent on Warwick, and he only made the kill at the end of the team fight. He could have gotten that Gragas much earlier, meaning that the man drop could have been used on the carries like Jinx. Things just didn't quite line up. I mean, they ended up coming out okay.
The result was successful. The execution was not ideal.
Right.
That's
and
not...
We really saw the strength of that Gragas-Zyra ultimate combo.
Yes, we did.
And he pushed back all the enemy team into that Zyra knockup, and then Warwick came in and dived, I think it was the Morgana?
Lots of stuff happened.
Yeah, that's for sure. And
it looks like we might have, let's see, purple team's on their way to Baron with those pings going out.
And they've got good positioning on Dragon here. They're probably going to be able to take this.
They've got a lot of damage. They should be able to easily kill it before
there it
anybody
is.
comes close.
Oh,
almost got snagged by the rocket.
Well, I think
If she had gotten... if she had gotten the rocket on the dragon,
That
would have been worth. That would have been worth 2.
That would have been worth 2. She would have. Yeah,
Super.
I agree.
Hey, look, her rocket success score is the same as her KDR. How about that? How about that?
This is very. That's very.
These coincidences.
I really think right now, the game is just going so heavily in favor of the team that plays map
10K
control.
gold lead. And the tournament is working in the favor of the team that. I mean, that's pretty much because the map control is victory.
Right.
That's how you define victory is map control.
Yeah, and teams that we've seen so far are really good at just snowballing leads off of taking towers down and warding up. They're doing really well.
This is kind of the incarnation of the safe objective-based American meta.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not quite as interesting to survey as like the Asian circuit meta, because
Right.
that's very like play pick oriented.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, we're not going to sit here and siege your bot lane because you can't defend bot lane if you're dead, so we're just going to kill you instead.
Yeah.
Like, that's their mindset. It's a very aggressive mindset. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not quite as methodical as... But the nice thing about the American metagame, this is very objective-oriented, is that it's a lot more visible. It's more transparent in terms of strategy.
Zed's looking to one-shot Jinx. Jinx has no getaway.
She early
Easy
barriers
W.
and early flashes.
Oh,
the ult goes out.
God,
There's
look at that.
no way she was living from that. No
That is the power of
escape
Zed.
mechanisms. No escape mechanisms.
That is the power of Zed. He will just pop your AD carry in one go, and he isn't even full damage build right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the...
He hasn't got his Last Whisper yet. He hasn't got his Black Cleaver yet. He's only going to get stronger.
He went for Merc Treads.
Yeah. Yeah. And really nice play. Zed's split push is one of the strongest in the game.
He's got excellent wave clear. It's kind of... Oh, man. Why do they give these resourceless champions like Rumble such good wave clear? I'm always like, what? Come on.
Uh-oh. That's a good
Pantheon
initiation.
getting caught out,
Oh,
and the tower
the
actually
tower shot.
manages to kill him.
Warwick
Now,
Gohan.
without Pantheon, this is the time. This is the time if they're going to engage at any time, it's now. They have full health, just the vast majority of their resources. Pantheon isn't up. And if you look at it one way, that's half of their crowd control.
Yeah.
They really have nothing else besides Dark Binding.
That's true. That is very true. I mean, Pantheon and Morgana have been a staple of their team so far.
And they're not to say that they can't make plays without those crowd control effects in play, but not having them is a whole lot worse than having them.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the thing that makes their team fight successful. If they can't chase down their kills, if they can't finish the picks that they try to go for, that just means that people like Warwick and Gragas and Jinx will just run away, sustain a bit, and then come back into the fight.
I am interested that both Shyvana and Zed, you know, as per standard, both picked up the Blade of the Ruined King to complement their lack of like a hard control option.
Yes.
So they do have a bit of slowing there. Morgana also has the Frostqueen claim.
Yeah.
They have,
We'll be able to use that slow.
so they have chase potential through itemization.
Yeah, and that's
not
going to be
quite
very
through their
important
kits.
for those champions too. They really do rely on having at least some source of chase potential. That Blade of the Ruined King is such a great pickup, not only because it snares your opponents, but it speeds you up.
I think we're going to start seeing some Banshee's Veils rolling out with those Megatron Cloak buys.
Yes, that's a very good buy. Things like Gragas Cask, Warwick
Ultimate, Vi Vault Breaker.
Yeah, they will definitely...
There's really a lot of valuable skills to be blocked. There's,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people say like, oh, which skill isn't valuable to be blocked? And you're like, oh, well, Shuriken.
Right.
You know, or some random poke. It's not really it's not intended to be a playmaking skill.
Yeah. And I mean, the Banshee's Veil is just a great pickup just because any amount of CC that you can reduce on yourself is CC that's essentially wasted.
Yep.
And when a large
So long as you're like not walking into Cho'Gath's Rupture or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to have it go off.
Exactly. On top of the Black Shield, that's going to make it very difficult to hold down members of...
Yeah, like if you Black Shield Shyvana, and she has Banshee's Veil up, and she dives in, not only is she going to eat like 3 different forms of CC, but now those are locked out. Like, you're only getting 1 on her.
Yeah.
And those aren't available to secure Caitlyn or Pantheon.
Yep. Pantheon, Caitlyn.
Oh, here comes
Zed.
Warwick.
These champions can all dive in after all the CC has been used.
Quite a bit of focus being drawn onto Warwick here.
Where is the Zed? Coming in from behind, onto Jinx. There's the double shurikens. He's going to move backwards, and that's not going to kill Jinx quite yet.
Not quite,
Very
but Shyvana
close.
is going to clean it up and pick up the kill on Zyra here.
Ace in the hole.
Running
and
deep, does block it with the Zhonya's. She's just going to sit there and tank the tower. Flashes to secure the kill. And does he have body slam? Does he? Does manage to auto attack through the trees. Dragon form auto attack so big.
They want
this is going to be an inhibitor.
Pushed up against the turrets, and so they're going to get a lot off of this team fight. They might even actually. Okay.
No, not going deep.
The
respawn timers aren't super long. We're still only at the mid game.
Yeah, they only had about like 9 seconds left.
Yep.
Not quite able to take down a Nexus turret.
See, interestingly enough, when teams disengage towards their base, they are dragging the aggressor towards their objective.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't really understand. Like, retreating all in the wrong direction, even for treating the right choices, you can kill yourself just as quickly.
Yes.
Because now, instead of, like, if they had dragged them up and around the base wall, they would have had to spend those extra 9 seconds walking around, realigning themselves with the creep wave, getting back, taking the tower, and then going towards the inhibitor. They would have been back up. They might have been able to defend the inhibitor.
Yeah, yeah. And that's going to be, you know, a lost opportunity. Now they've lost the inhibitor, and they're positioning for Baron. So it's going to be a tough hill to climb.
Now, we did see Morgana pick up the sweeper, finally. So she is going to be able to successfully secure site advantage in the Baron pit.
Yeah. And continuing to buy pink wards. I mean...
So good. Love it when people remember to buy pink wards, because some people forget I can only afford one.
Exactly.
Can't put down
it's a team
two.
effort.
Yeah.
It's definitely a team effort.
I love seeing like 3 or 4 pink wards down at one time. It's very fulfilling as a support.
I really enjoy this Morgana play so far. She's just been getting really good ultimates off, landing all the correct bindings, using that black shield to the greatest effect. And I just really think that this is just classic Morgana play, demonstrating why she is such a strong support pick.
I love the new Frost Queen's claim, or the new way that the tribute stacks.
Right.
Because it used to be that it was like literally impossible to get the full gold per minute on it. Because you put yourself at way too much risk.
Right.
You either A, ran out of mana, trying to use it every 7 seconds, or you know, every 3 seconds if you're hitting both characters.
Right.
But now it's like, oh, I have 1 charge every 10 seconds. I can just drop a black puddle, and then bam, I'm good for 30 seconds in terms of income. Because it'll just instantly tick off all the charges.
Exactly.
And you just put a puddle down every 30 seconds, and you're good to go in terms of your sustain.
It's becoming one of the more popular items to pick up on supports, especially after that Doran Shield nerf.
A lot of people will tout the prowess of Talisman of Ascension due to the area speed buff, which is undeniable. It's super, super strong. But I love how they're saying, hey, you are sacrificing something.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing, you know, this harass style in lane.
You're sacrificing combat statistics that you could potentially get.
Like the AP.
Oh, no. And there's a flash
and
onto the
pick
Zyra.
Up the Zyra. That's going to be an immediate
Zyra not
kill.
going to be able to ult. There it is. Finally, Zed in the back.
She did have time to turn around, and with that ult, they're actually going to push Pantheon out of the fight. He was cleaned up by Warwick. Warwick getting tunneled down by Cat.
Wow. And that is a
That was a quick fight. That was a quick fight. We had Dr. Mundo and the Broskies trying to disengage and save whoever they could. They identified they were going to lose and they say, hey, we need bodies to block that inhibitor.
Yeah.
They kept Jinx alive. That's going to help a little bit. But really, I think they were looking to keep like Zyra and Gragas alive, who would have been the optimal teammates to have to get them off this inhibitor.
They're going to be able to get top inhibitor. Mid inhibitor is going to respawn soon.
But they're going to have it right away.
Yep. And
with Gragas being another 16 seconds on the timer, they have plenty of time, especially they're so far ahead that it's really going to be unrealistic for Dr. Mundo and the Broskies to contest that
Guardian
inhibitor
Angel
loss.
Already out on the Zed. I mean, many times when Zed is far ahead, you don't need to finish that Black Cleaver. You can go ahead and grab a defensive item
Right.
first.
I like that it shows vision. It's not, hey, because so many like assassins will get Guardian Angel only as the absolute last item, and it's like, hey, you know, those stats are more valuable at the level 15 point.
Yes.
They're literally almost, they're a lot less useful. Only the revive is useful in the pure end game.
Yeah.
Because those defensive stats mean nothing to a fully built latency.
Especially on a champion like Zed, where you can, if you can one-shot their AD carry already, you don't need really any more damage.
What else are you going to need?
And when you pick up that Guardian Angel, it doesn't matter if the AD carry is being protected by a whole bunch of his teammates. If you just get your EQ combo off and maybe auto him once, you can die, the AD carry will die off, and then you'll come back.
Yep.
And then you can continue to team fight. And so it's actually a very strong item on somebody like Zed.
And in the event that the, you know, the team fight moves, you have a movement option.
Yeah.
Oh man, so looks like it's gonna be really difficult for Dr. Mund and the Broskies to operate with this kind of deficit. They're down 2 inhibitors, and well, Dragon will be up in 145, but I don't think it's gonna be really critical to the success of this game. Just
there's a lot of pressure coming out of.
I think this is the furthest gold lead that I have seen yet at a Gamebreakerz tournament.
This is definitely the most dominating game of them all
that we've seen today. You know, I guess we're more lucky than anything else that the other 2 games are so close.
Yeah.
Those are just actually really close games. It's very rare to see games that come down to that kind of wire.
Right. That are quite
the majority
intense.
of the games at the Gamebreakerz tournament is something a little more along these lines.
Right. We've been blessed with really good games today.
A lot of good teams.
But it looks like Dr. Budo and Broskies are
feeling the edge of Shandor's minions. I wonder why they're called Shandor's minions. Did Shandor sponsor them?
Not sure.
We'll see. I'll ask him. Maybe he'll say, "Hey, you guys can be the Gamebreakerz team. You want to be the Gamebreakerz team?"
Well, they're definitely showing some strong potential here as they take down the Nexus turrets. And Dr. Mundo and the Broskies are looking for their last stand. There goes a Zyra ult. Morgana pops up.
But Zed and Shyvana really output it. Wow, Gragas' ult actually did a massive amount of damage there, but doesn't quite pick up the kill on any of those champions.
Yeah, they're just a little bit too tanky. Gragas doesn't have enough damage. He doesn't have the Void Staff or the Rabadon's finish quite yet. And unfortunately, it looks like they will go down 8 to 24 as a kill score.
Is the Nexus well played by Forever Twisted, leading Shandor's minions to victory.
Yeah.
Excited to see what they have to offer versus such Poro in the next match.